it back on yet? Okay, good. Put it on 9, please, honey. Okay. That was the entire building losing internet. We lost internet at the source. The internet went out on the TV, Roku, my phone, and the computer, which means it was an entire building thing, not a studio thing. Thank you for coming back. That was just the whole building looks like it hit the reset button. But it's back, and that's the important thing. It's just a minor hiccup in the wonderful night. Scoob's like, I knew something wrong was going to happen. The moment he won, he knew it was all over. Yeah, Chef's like, oh, I'm glad I got here late then. You're just in time, man. What up, dude? Oh, goodness gracious. So, I gotta talk about something. It's not fun, and it's not political. Um, but my goodness. So James and I were actually on the way to school this morning. We were talking, and James was talking about a funny Instagram video um, about it's I don't know who the follower was, but he had a crack about school shootings in it, and I told James, and this was at 7:55 a.m. that that's not funny, and you shouldn't joke about those things. And that it's a very serious issue. And I said a lot of little kids die because of those things. And as if I was hearkening the harbinger of death himself, uh, at almost the exact same time that I am telling him this, at 7:55 a.m., which would be about 11:12 East Coast time, there was another school shooting. Because here in America, we collect them like friendship bracelets at a Taylor Swift concert. Two students, two adults killed, 9 injured by gunfire, dozens by the evacuation and insanity that ensued. So I had to have that conversation with my 8-year old about what happened and why that stuff's not funny. Just to have that exact same thing happen at almost the exact same time that I was talking about it. So that was a bit of a surreal downer moment for me to return home from dropping my kid off only to have that headline blast across my phone. And a simple reminder that uh, things have got to change, man. Things have got to change. Something's got to change. I don't know how you change it. I'm not equipped to tell you how to change it, but something's got to change. I'm former military. I'm a gun owner. I'm a responsible gun owner, and even I have to admit at this point something's got to change. So I'm not going to dive deep into that, but I want all of us to kind of think about it. And really, we need a solution as a people, and we need to find out who's going to help us with that solution. So, moving on, let's talk a little bit about, I know, terrible segue, right? Let's talk about some of the things we have that bring us joy instead of the things that bring us sadness. Scuba, for those who missed it due to the internet outage, Scuba won the SDCC ornament for the August giveaway. That is the, as they call it, Sand People, which is not a polite term. They're Tusken Raiders. Which, I mean, are they raiders or do we just perceive them as raiders? Either way, the Tuskens. Scoob now gets to take him home and do a victory dance when he puts him on his tree or pole or menorah or whatever it is he celebrates and puts his ornaments on. I mean, it could be his ears from a piercing. It could be he put it on his pinball machine. I don't know where he puts it. But wherever he puts it, hopefully he cheers. Signed, sealed, delivered. We've only scratched the surface on autographed comics with that amazing Teixeira and Frank Miller giveaway. Signed sketches halfway. That's Fabrice and Stuart Sager. Fun pop art is just Money Mitch. Carlos, Chef, and Chef are 4 out of the 12 participants in There Will Be Blood Football Edition. And that is that. I did see that, Scoobs. I actually did see that one. As much as I don't go on whenever I turn on my computer, Discord automatically populates and logs me in. So it may look like that I am constantly on Discord. I am not. I've actually thought about just removing my visibility from Discord so people don't think I sit on Discord all day and send me stuff. But I happened to be looking at Discord and saw that absolutely marvelous Stan Lee and others like McFarlane signed book. And I'm hoping that comes back cherry homie, but the age of that book and the number of people that have handled it, I mean, anything over a 9 is a win on that one. But it did look good. I can tell you that. Can't talk about that yet. Doug and Trevor were in the studio today. Jimmy at school, so I was not here while they were here. They have put together we haven't come up with a name with it officially yet. But when we design products, we usually request more art than that actually goes into the product. So we have items that are left over. Now, it's not that they're inferior, it's simply that they didn't match with items that we could match them up with to make it an exciting match. Some of them are quite amazing pieces of art that we just didn't have something to go with to make it into the product. A Michelin? That was the other one. So there is a smorgasbord of different topics of art that are going to be on a break. We have another signed, certified, and delivered that we can make, featuring all 9.8 graded CGC 6 Series comics. And next week we have another product that should be available for launch that piggybacks off of the last product we did, X-Men. Something in that X-Men product really caught people's attention, so we made a break of it, and it's exciting. Paul Maitland is working on a project for us that is almost complete. Speaking of X-Men, exactly, segue. Paul's project is one that I'm sure everybody's going to want to get into because it's fun and funny and Paul. What else do we have? There's a video game one coming out that I haven't talked about yet that I'm not supposed to. I believe almost all of that art is in. That one's going to be fun. Hey, there's Doug. We should have the project next week. Oh, it's the one I'm not supposed to talk about. Oh, okay. Oh, that one. Good. Scoobs, it's involves video games. And by that I mean original art inspired by video games. Yes, Doug, the actually internet has already cut out on us once where we lost it to the entire building. And yes, they are doing line work outside about a block over. I didn't realize it was internet related. But we may have some more disruptions because they were working on it when I got here. Scuba. I mean, listen. If we did a video game break, it would probably be really expensive because vintage cartridges, especially signed vintage cartridges, are through the roof. They are not easy to get your hands on. Though we may have related items, maybe we don't. Maybe I'm making up the whole thing. Maybe it's only Atari related items or TurboGrafx 16. You'll never know. That's me. I am general incompetence at your service. Well, I'm definitely full of hot air. It's actually 98.6 degrees, the temperature of the air inside me. Doug has some books, and I'm going to show you one of them. No. What's wrong, baby? Ah. This is Michael Crichton's Jurassic Park: The Lost World. It is a beautiful edition. It's very nice. And we added a little something. I shouldn't say we. But Paul Maitland added a little something. That is an original Maitland T-Rex. Ooh! You mean a whole run of books with art inside the cover? Maybe? You should see what he drew inside of Moby Dick. What happened to Dangle being in the football break? He traded his spots for spots in something else. But you know Dangle, he'll be back. He'll be back. We know it. He can't help himself. Oh! Doug doesn't know this yet, but I bought something that you guys are going to like that are here. These are the sheet. These are not the framed ones. These are the official Dungeons and Dragons 50-year anniversary limited edition sheets of real forever stamps. So expect two of these to be in something in the future. It is two of each of the 10 stamps for a 20 sheet. I was at the post office and I said, "Hey, do you happen to have any of those?" She says, "We don't have the framed ones." She goes, "But I have 10 of these left." And pulled them out and I said, "I'll take two, please." I mean, actually, I took three. Two of them are for DCD Collects. One of them are for my collection. Stamps. Scoobs, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's a great use of your imagination. It is good for building social skills. It is good for problem solving. It is good for math. It is good for learning how to roll dice, which is an integral part of being an adult. It is a great way to learn new recipes and snacks and drinks. It can be a gateway to cosplay. It is tons of fun. Just saying. Maybe you should try it. Start online. Buy Baldur's Gate 3 and realize that that's as close to the game as you're going to get without actual other people playing those characters. Same mechanics, same variables. And if you like that, then you would like the real thing. True story. Speaking of Evil Enchantress, who, as you know, is one of the artists we work with. She is a DM and quite an accomplished DM as well. Dragon's Age, yeah, that's actually very close too. You're gonna eat your cake slice? I wish I had cake. I'm not supposed to eat cake, but I wish I did. Yeah, I played the OG Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. The new one is glorious. It stimulates my brain. I have had a tough month. I've had a really down month, in case some of you haven't noticed, which I know some of you have reached out to me privately and asked me what was wrong. Thank you. And honestly, I know this sounds ridiculous, but Melissa buying that game for me really allowed me to take all of this stewing and idle time with my brain, which is dangerous, and focus it into something that I enjoy. And it helped me balance the time that I needed to get our life completely rearranged, almost literally, and back on top. So the game is very therapeutic for me. It's a great outlet for me. Yellow cake with chocolate frosting? Dude, you can't go wrong with yellow cake and chocolate frosting. Betty Crocker? Tell me it's Betty Crocker. It's true. Doug gives me hugs. Doug is been my sounding board. Doug knows everything that's going on with me. And Doug's like top phrase of the last 30 days was been, "Is there anything I can do?" And it's like, there's really not anything you can physically do. It's just everything's happening all at once. Most of it is over. Some of it is ongoing, but being resolved. But the deepest part of the ocean has been crossed. The Marianas Trench of my depression has been crossed. I am now more into like the Puget Sound depth of the depression. I know the coast is on the horizon. I can see it. And it's just a matter of time before the boat reaches the shore of sanity. And I know it'll get there. And believe it or not, the game is a big, I mean, obviously Doug Dreyer is a big part of that too. And Jenny Dreyer is a big part of that help. But for the mental part that nobody can fix but me, that game actually helps me get through it. And it sounds silly, and I mean, I think Baldur's Gate should pay me for this diatribe. I'll just take in-game swag. Give me some dice skins, I'll be happy. But the game has really helped me focus my negative energy into something good. Scoobs knows how I feel. Chef's like, we can submerge a submarine in Puget Sound. Oh, I know. Puget Sound is deep enough. And I'm still there. But I know the coast is, I can smell the smog of Puget Sound. Yeah. So it's getting better. I have felt a lot better. And it's a waiting game. It's just gotta wait it out. Someday I'll be able to speak about it, but I can't at this moment. Puget Sound has some great driving. I haven't driven it.
A little bottle of water.
A little bottle of water.
A little bottle of water.
Simple roast, thank you. Scuba says driving. Scuba. I've never driven through Washington. He even put it in capitals, DRIVING. Anyone have any stream issues in here the past few weeks? Scuba, we actually lost the internet in the entire building earlier. But as far as the glitches, not really. That you solved it with 4500. He's like, I'm done with you. Listen, buddy, if you're done with me, just go back to your fish sticks, your frozen fish sticks that you only heat to about an internal temperature of 62 degrees. You like them crunchy. Dip them in your tartar sauce and call me in the morning. Doug says, I've dived in Puget Sound. But have you ever cleansed yourselves in the water of Lake Minnetonka? That is the question, Doug. The fish sticks will love me. We all love you, Scuba. It's not just the fish sticks. Listen, you don't have to say it in the chat, but if you got my reference, you get 5 points. They mean nothing, but you get them. So pat yourself on the back. High five. You're probably due for a colonoscopy if you got that reference. Just saying. I don't need this. What's this? There we go. But have you seen General Obi-Wan Kenobi on Lake Okeechobee? I did not. Obi-Wan Kenobi on Lake Okeechobee. Nope. I will see Obi-Wan Kenobi next month at LA Comic-Con when I meet him and have him sign my original Obi-Wan Kenobi art, penciling by the legend Lee Cozy. That'll be Sunday at about 3:40. I'll be getting in line, so I don't know how long I'll be in that line. But that's the line I'll be in. I may have a ringer wait in line for most of the wait, and when it gets towards the front, tag, and then go in to have my meet and greet. I'm hoping I don't. No, I won't freeze. I never get starstruck. The only time I ever got starstruck really in my life was with Carrie Elwes. Um, I honestly have a feeling that I will just be like, hey, Mr. McGregor, I enjoy everything you've ever done. And I think you did a great job. Please sign this original piece of art by legendary artist Lee Cozy from Lucasfilm. And I hope he goes, wow, that's so great. We'll see. I don't think we're allowed to film in there. So you'll have to just take my word for it. But I think he will react because it is a very good likeness. For those who are not familiar with it, go to Lee Cozy's website. It's actually on his Instagram. The colored version, not my original pencils. Because I bought it before he was even finished with it. True story. Doug was there. Doug was actually there. And I may or may not have bought that out from under Doug. Because we were in our meeting and Lee was working on the pencils and it already looked great. And I was like, oh, what's that? He's like, oh, I'm going to make a print out of it. These are the pencils. I'm going to scan the pencils. And then I'm going to print out the pencils and I'm going to paint over it for the print. And that's how I'm going to make the print. And I was like, what are you going to do with the original pencils? He's like, I don't know, sell it. I was like, how much? He's like, well, probably like blah, blah, blah. I was like, sold. And Lee goes, wait, really? And I'm like, no, I'll buy it right now. And he's like, okay. And Doug and Trevor are both like, oh, wow, that's really a great purchase. And I was like, yeah. What up, Kyle? How you doing? Lake Mini. Yeah, Kyle gets it. Lake Mini Tonka. It is, yeah, so I'm getting him to sign that. The ticket is bought. As long as he doesn't back out, I'll be there. And then it'll really be a showpiece. Because, man, that amazing piece of art with his signature on it is just gangbuster. Let me see if I can pull it up on the Kosei site. Oops, that's not the button. Oh, it's probably going to be down there a ways, now that I realize how long ago that was. But we're going to look anyway. Actually, not going to be as far back now that I'm looking at some of the art that's here, because half of this is our art. Oh, there it is. Boop. All right, Doug, see you later. So I own this. Yeah, I just floated. So that is the original pencil. I am going to have him sign it, probably, I'm thinking right here. I wanted to get Hayden Christensen to sign it as well, since James Earl Jones isn't doing autographs anymore. So I think I'm going to have him sign it here. If I can get Hayden to sign it, I might have him do it up here. I don't know. I don't want to really muddy up the art too much. That's what it looks like colored. That is what the actual print is. So yeah, pretty exciting. It's nice to have friends that do cool stuff. Yep. All right. So yeah, that's my brag moment. It's pretty great. If Hayden Christian, like I already paid basically $250 to have Mr. McGregor sign it. It would be another $250 to have Darth Vader sign it. Hayden. And I applaud Hayden's take on Vader. I think everyone was too harsh on him in the beginning, especially when George Lucas said his flat acting was because I told him to be flat. And I think Hayden actually does a great job, and I love seeing him. No more pickle. Pickles. How did you know it was on my phone? That's all it is. It's just dill pickles. Paul! What's up, Mr. Moisland? It was funny because Hayden's signatures were less originally, and then he sold out like all three of his times, and they added an extra day, and suddenly his signatures were $50 more. True story. So obviously they didn't think he was going to be as popular as he was, and when he sold out his shows, they're like, oh, let's charge more. DC, you've not seen the Pickle Pick. All right, here's a couple of things. First of all, I hate pickles with a passion. If something I order has pickles on it, I won't eat it. If I tell them to remove the pickles and it's served to me, I won't pick them off. I send it back. I hate pickles, just the taste, the texture, everything about them. That if a pickle is on my plate and the juice touches the sandwich, I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't eat this. A fried pickle lady and the tramp style with a good friend. A fried pickle lady and the tramp style. Oh, you were sharing a fried pickle, Lady in the Tramp style, with a good friend. Punctuation, my friend. Your English. You should be better at this. Punctuation, man. I was so confused at first. I was picturing Lady and the Tramp as two fried pickles with a human between them. You're welcome for that prompt. Yeah, Paul, you were at Dragon Con, right? Weren't you by somebody really famous? I like making you work. You know what I mean? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. It was meh. Well, listen, they all can't be home runs, or else everybody would expect home runs. Then, Ichiro would not be Ichiro. Ichiro would just be a guy. He's like, I was next to Kai. Yes. Was Kai busy? I'm not 100% sure dragons are his crowd. I'm sure he took that time to do a lot of the commissions he had from all the other shows he did. Did you meet Stoner Gump? I don't know what that is. Was Jess with Kai? That's where that went. For those who don't know, Kai's fiance, Jess, a super talented artist as well. She specializes typically in digital, and her digital prints are amazing. I own one, and she sells like gangbusters. Every time she releases a new piece, it goes viral, and there's lines out the door. He did some business. Okay. Ah, okay. Yeah, no, he's busy. He has proxy peeps up. When we were doing the con in Ontario, he's like, I am in here, and here right now. He goes, I have 3 shows simultaneously this weekend. And I'm like, you have 2 proxies? He's like, well, Jess is one of them. And then, yes, I have another hired proxy. I was like, wow. Wish we were that famous. I wish we were so, like, not that we could do this by proxy, but it would be cool to be like, oh, we're wanted at 2 shows. I need to cellular mitosis my entire body into 2 beings, like a Stephen King novel, and do it both at once. Paul says, Burb. He's a dumb short video guy, but if I need to laugh until I hurt, he's my go-to. I enjoy watching him evaluate people trying gummies for the first time. Ha! Yeah, that's a slippery slope, gummies. Because the regulation on gummies is not, I mean, it's not FDA level stuff. I mean, it is, but it isn't. So like the dose variant can be like 10 to 20% or something like that. And it all depends on how well it's compounded. And if it's not compounded well, then some doses are going to be higher than others. I speak from experience. What up, Money Mitch? How are you doing? We're just talking about edibles, gummies specifically, and how dosing is difficult. Money Mitch, we did the August giveaway. Scuba won the ornament. Just letting you know, because I know you had quite a few spots in there. Scoobs had about a quarter of the entire list. You're doing okay? Well, okay is better than bad. Over the last 30 days, I was doing worse than all of you may have even known, even though you reached out to me. I was in a super bad place. But I am on the tail end of it, coming into goodness. He wrote a book called Herbally Infused and went to Dragon Con. I like it. I don't know, well, I was going to say, I don't know how I can handle a con on edibles, but actually, typically, if you see me at a con, usually I'm microdosing because of my back. When I say microdosing, I'm talking like 2.5 milligrams, like imperceivable. Yeah, we got them all back, Scoobs. And when we pick them up from Lee, we will do a reveal video. me. So yeah, and Doug and Trevor are aware. Because of my bad back, I won't take painkillers. I won't take. I won't take. Um, what's the word I'm looking for? I won't take. What are those painkillers that are bad for you? I'm just blanking on the word for them. Iocane powder. Opioid. Thank you. Opioid. What's up, Motley? I won't take opioids unless I'm like debilitated. I will. There are times where, so for those who don't know, I have 2 herniated discs, degenerative disc disease, and I have vertebrae that are disintegrated from a car accident when I was 19. As I'm getting older, and part of the reason I had to start taking Ozempic, in addition to being very close to being diabetic, very high pre-diabetic, my heavy weight affects my back, and we need to keep it around 220 or below, or else my back hurts. So, the only times I will ever take opioids is if I am immobile. If I am like out of bed and it's like I'm on the floor, I literally can't get up. That is the only time I'll take opioids, and even then, I take half of what they tell me to take. And one of the ways that I avoid taking opioids is microdosing on cannabis, and it's through typically gummies. And I will take like a quarter, or I will take half of a 5. Or even I'll bite half of a 5 into quarters and take a quarter, and then 2 hours later take another quarter. Like, I literally take a standard dose of THC for the standard user is 10 milligrams. That is considered a standard dose. A single gummy of standard, not high potency, is going to be about 10 milligrams. You get a lot of them that are CBD infused. Those are usually 5 milligrams with like 50 milligrams CBD. I won't even buy the 10s because I can't make them small enough. I'll usually buy 5s and take half with food. And that's usually enough to allow me to get function through a day of standing and walking. That small amount doesn't affect my mental capacity to work at a con. If anything, it focuses me a little bit. But I won't take opioids at a con. I won't take high anything at a con. It's microdose at a con. And that's just so that I can, I'm standing for 8 hours, give or take a couple of bench sittings. And with my back, it's impossible not to. Money Mitch says no spending until LACC when he comes to hang out with us. Chef's like, I don't take anything higher than Motrin. Don says, I want to, but I just play it smart and skip it for financial reasons. Scoop says, that's awesome. They are all back. Real excited to see the grades revealed. I may or may not know the grades. I'm not going to reveal them, but I will tell you they are all not the same grade. There was a little variance. But most people will be satisfied. Not all, but most people will be satisfied. So yeah. I know Doug won't be satisfied because his Thor didn't go. Something that I think will be remedied. I think Kai is at LACC. I have a couple of books that are not signed that I want to get graded. I will tell you there were no 10s. There were also no 9.9s. So before anybody goes crazy, there are no 9.9s, there are no 10s. There is nothing below an 8. Nothing below an, actually, I'll be honest with you, there's nothing below an 8.5. Nothing, a 10 point Prue's like, I got a 10.2. There was no 9.9, there was no 10, and there was nothing below, and there was nothing 8.5 or below. That's real talk. So mark it on your calendar. That is the fact. Nothing 8.5 or below, no 9.9s, no 10s. Listen, if somebody got a 10 on a Kai book, I wouldn't be able to sit here and be like, oh, I'll just do a reveal. I'd be like, blah, 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 got a 10. Oh! Yeah, there's no 10s. No 10s. No 9.9s either. Facts. No. So, LA Comic-Con is going to have the baseballs. They are going to be at Comic-Con. Doug still hasn't told me the definitive price of the donation to get one. But again, it is a donation. You're not buying a ball. You're donating and getting a random ball. Be aware. But yeah, that's happening. Ours goes to 11. 11, 11, 11, 11. They all go to 11. So, why don't you just make them all to 10 and make 10 louder? Because these go to 11. Ha ha! Such a great movie. Prue. How are you doing, buddy? Scuba, maybe a month. Maybe we won't get them until we see him at LA Comic-Con. I don't know if we're seeing Lee before then. They were being sent to his house. We have the grades. I don't know if he has the books in hand. But I know we had the email. Because I've seen the email. So, if he has the books in hand, maybe sooner. I don't know if he has them in hand. I just know the email. He showed us the email the moment he got it. And I was like, oh, dude, don't show me the email. I was going to do a reveal. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, but he had already put it on the screen. And I'm like, well, now I have to look. But yeah, because originally I didn't want to know. I wanted to be surprised. And I know I told Doug and Trevor, hey, I don't want to know. Just, I want to do the reveal. That was spoiled for me, so I'll be doing the reveal already knowing what's up, Doc. But Money Mitch says, Prue, Mr. Sinister arrived. Hey, another successful trade through DCD Collects. The Discord trade section, reason enough to join the family. All you got to do is make a purchase and you're in. No randos, only friends. Yeah, Prue, I feel the same way. I have to ship multinationally, and that can get kind of crazy. Earlier this week, I shipped out, Joe, from Australia. His book is on the way. It's crazy. 4 months ago, whatever it was, the last time I sent something to Joe, shipping was like $22. This package was smaller, and it was $40 again. I don't know what's up with Australia, but America to Australia just fluctuates in price all the time. I have the receipt. Actually, I'll tell you the exact amount. It was only 10 ounces, and it was $29.20. I'm sorry, no, $39.30. I don't want to give away any information. That's how expensive it is to send one 10-ounce package to Australia. Sorry to see my wife came out to ask me during baseball talk, do you mind recapping? Baseball talk? Was I talking about baseball? Did I just have a stroke? I don't recall talking about baseball, other than saying not everything could be a home run, or else Ichiro would just be another guy. Shouldn't it be upside down? Shouldn't it be $3.93? Man, I wish. I wish it was that cheap. I would love to have inexpensive shipping to other countries. Maybe we'd be a little more popular. Ugh. Oh, that baseball. I get it now. Listen, I have a severe cognitive decline. I don't know. I probably have early onset Alzheimer's, but I really don't want to get tested because if I know it, it'll just make me depressed. Baseball for Charity will be at LACC. It'll be a single donation of I don't know how much. Doug hasn't told me. And then a random ball will just be given to the person at LACC. We will make them, I believe, available online somehow, some way. I think we're just going to put them in white boxes and number them. And then just randomize the numbers. It could be fun to get like one of those bingo things and have numbered balls and have the balls match the baseball box, and then you make a donation, you pick out your ball, and that's the one you get. I'm going to write that down because that was an effing brilliant idea. And All right. There we go. That was my good idea for the day. Wouldn't be able to use D&D dice because you'd be able to re-roll the same numbers, and we have like 30 some balls. The Giants put theirs in blank Chinese takeout containers. I think we have standard cardboard white boxes for them. Don says, Carlos and I are here to help. You ship all the baseballs to us, and we will pack them in white boxes and send them. Then it's really a mystery. And then suddenly Don and Carlos have Todd McFarlane signed ball and a thermal detonator ball in their house. I know. Listen, Don will have the thermal detonator. Carlos will have the mystery solved. He'll have the McFarlane ball. There you go. That's what would happen. Don't tell me otherwise. I dig that, Mitch. I dig it. I like it. That probably is a real cheap answer, too. Send us 30 balls, we'll return 30 balls. They just may not be the same 30. One of them will have a just random scribbles on it. The other one will have a gnome.
It's a trap.
It's a trap. It is a trap. Arguably the most versatile one that I've ever put up for you guys to use.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on right now.
Yeah. The box that's supposed to have McFarlane in it will just be a troll. And the one that is supposed to have a thermal detonator will be like a stick figure that says not drawn by Don. He's like, I draw something on a few of them. Scoop says there was a girl named Amelia working at the grocery store, and we were joking about them finding Amelia Earhart. And she was like, I was behind the deli counter at the store the whole time. I think she has humor about it. The box with Kai will instead have a ball with a picture of a Kai. Of a Kia. Ha ha ha. I say Spaceballs the baseball. Yeah, that one is fun. Gnome, I'm sorry. That's right. Trolls are not that cute, especially if they're online. Okay. So yeah, those will be, I think tomorrow we actually have that discussion, or Friday we're having that discussion during our meeting if we can actually get a meeting together. Seems like every meeting that we're supposed to have, one or two of us are not able to make it out of the four of us. So we have not been on the same page as a company because school is starting, and a few of us have kids that are in school age still. Some are traveling for other cons, some are traveling for other jobs. It's just been a crazy mess. Or if the troll has hockey skates, then it's a ugly mascot. And a felony if you're a politician in Texas. Yeah, we're doing what we can. Don says, Carlos, shame on you. If I can get someone to love me, then someone somewhere thinks trolls are cute. Don, I love you, man. And you are way more handsome than a troll. I wish they would rethink the mascot too. It's awful. It's almost as bad as Phillies. Or what was San Diego Chargers? Didn't they have like Boltman? Or some weird lightning guy? Money Mitch, you would know. Like the Shocker or something? I don't know what his name was. He was terrifying too. Blue, the Colts mascot, is actually a fantastic mascot. He does great crowd work. He does a lot of great stuff. Thanks. Poor Bowie. Am I the only Bowie fan? I've been to a lot of indie games when I lived in Indianapolis. And they have a great mascot. He is in high demand in that city. That man is everywhere. He's one of the good ones. It is Boltman. Okay. I want to show you Boltman for those who don't know who Boltman is. Money Mitch is like, I wish you wouldn't. Now, I'm not joking. This is real. Thank God he put a jersey on. Somebody thought this was a good idea. Yeah. What up, Mondo? ¿Qué pasó, mi amigo? I love you, Mondo. We're just talking about bad mascots. Don't lie, buddy. You know he's bad. I mean... all ideas are creative, not all ideas are winners. Yeah. Yep. And then, of course, we have Gritty. The Philly Fanatic is wonderful, but this isn't. This is nightmare fuel. If cocaine was a mascot, this would be it. That is the best way I can describe that. If cocaine was a mascot, there he is. Gritty reminds you of the Muppets. 66ers Bernie? I mean, you know, that's not so bad. in comparison. That mascot is amped in Philly. Bernie, I mean, I get it. He's a bit goofy looking, but I don't think he's that bad. I mean, the other examples are definitely way worse. Because his name is Gritty, and the Philadelphia Flyers traditionally play a very gritty forecheck and really play the game in the boards and gritty. I mean, they're the Philadelphia Flyers, and he's flying high. So, as Prue says, telling you, he's cocaine. Allegedly. All right, folks, 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 Eastern. Let's call first last call on the evening. I got through the information I wanted to get through today. If y'all want to see something open, grab something now. Otherwise, we'll shut it down and get ready for tomorrow, football day. Buffalo typically has pretty good mascots. I mean, it's no San Diego chicken, but Buffalo mascots are pretty good. I will show you him. I've got to meet him twice. This is Sabretooth. Get it? Because we're sabers? So, I mean, Sabretooth. What's up, Rebel Art Design? How are you? He's like, I got my blind bags for my card slabs and my custom-made clear cases to hold the PSA graded card slabs in. About to laser that logo. Get it, man. Get it. Get it, and when it's ready, you know you can come on this show and post links all day. All day. And then the Buffalo Bills actually have a highly rated mascot. That's Billy Buffalo. He usually finishes in some of the top voting every year for mascots. He can be seen riding around in his quad on the field. But, I mean, we are Buffalo, so it's pretty easy. It's like, oh, what is that? Obviously, it's going to be a buffalo, and the Sabres are obviously going to be a saber-toothed tiger. So, yeah, ours, we had... The Bisons had one, too. That was a bison. But the Bisons had somebody that was better than a mascot. The Buffalo Bisons had the Earl of Bud. He was a Budweiser salesman who, during the seventh inning stretch, would do the tequila Pee Wee Herman dance on the home dugout every game. The Earl of Bud, was the man. My goal in life was to turn 21 and buy a Bud from the Earl of Bud. It did not happen, unfortunately. But I did buy a beer from Conehead. Buffalo mascots are great, but have they ever been in a movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme? No. YouTube channel Aesthetics has videos on NHL mascots' histories. He does a great job with the jersey videos. Iceberg. Iceberg, for those who don't know, is the Penguin mascot. You know, I don't think I remember what Iceberg looks like. Oh no. Yeah, he's like, I would put him and Sabretooth in the same category. They've got that semi-animated look to them. They are cut from the same cloth or fabric. I would say they're of the same ilk. Excuse me. But no, hockey's not known for their mascots. It's a valid point, Scoops. Football mascots, absolutely. Basketball mascots, I think hit their highs in the 90s. When you had the Charlotte Hornets, Hornet doing the dunks. Back when mascots used to actually participate in dunk contests. Seattle Mariners have a moose? What does a moose have to do with water? All right, Carlos, see you tomorrow, buddy. I will. Mariner Moose. Oh my. Like, I get it. It's Seattle, but they're Mariners. Their logo is the Mariner star, the compass. Looks good in a Santa outfit. I'll give him that. Good luck it wasn't a bag of black tar. Oh yeah, Kyle, Philly fanatic. Yep. Hey, Katie! Katie, this is the Seattle Mariners Moose. He is the mascot, Mariner Moose, of the Seattle Mariners. Have you ever watched the NHL mascots game at the All-Star weekends? No, I actually am not very good at watching All-Star games. Scuba says the Seattle Mariners mascot is a moose because the winning entry in a contest for a new mascot was submitted by a 5th grader who chose the animal for its friendly, funny, and neat feature. The Mariners held a contest for children 14 and under in 1990 to select a new mascot. The contest received over 2,500 entries from across the Pacific Northwest. That's actually how the Buffalo Sabres got named. Or was it? Yeah, the Sabres. The Sabres held a contest to name the hockey team. Yeah. Yeah, Sabres, that was also a contest. And it's spelled Sabre as a nod to our Canadian brethren. Katie says, I wish Vegas would have gotten anything but the Golden Knights with a Spartan helmet. Valid. Valid. I mean, at least it's not the Cleveland Guardians or the Washington Commanders. Just saying. All right, folks, final last call. Final last call. When it comes to last calls, this is the final one. Hot, isn't it? Okay. Come here. I would like a hug, please. Did you just roll your eyes at me? What's wrong? Your knees? No, you don't want to walk. I love you, kid.
Night, DC. Tell Jimmy hi.
You saw it, Kyle. It's worked out that way. What? No, he isn't here today. Trevor, not to my knowledge. If he is, he didn't say hi yet. No, I get it, Money Mitch. I understand. Chef's like, my second favorite Jimmy.
Thanks for the thing.
Yeah, he still carries that coin around with him. Loves it. All right, folks, let me check the gate. The gate is clear. I don't know if anybody's streaming right now. Kaiser streaming. Yeah, but Kaiser's gonna hang it up in 13 minutes. All right, we'll just call it a night. It is. That's why we have 5 projects and 6 projects in the works. All right, everybody. I love each and every one of you. Please take care of yourselves and each other so that we can do this again tomorrow. Tomorrow is football. Tomorrow is going to be a wonderful day. I want to see you here, bright and squirrely. I love you all, and good night.